Welcome to Dev Mindset, the podcast that navigates the world of product building, project management, and skill enhancement. Let's explore the mindset that powers tech innovation together.
All right, so picture this. You're on like a high-stakes cooking show, right? The clock's ticking down, ingredients are flying everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And just when you think you've got a handle on things, bam, the judges throw a curveball.
Oh, no.
Some surprise ingredient they want you to like incorporate into the dish.
You've got to be ready for anything.
Exactly. What do? You've got to think fast, adapt your game plan, and somehow still deliver a masterpiece.
It's all about thinking on your feet.
Right, and that's the essence of agile project management. And today, we're diving deep into one of its most popular frameworks, Scrum.
And you're in the right place to learn about it. We're going beyond just like the dictionary definition of Scrum today.
Exactly. We've got excerpts from this fantastic article titled, "What is Scrum?" And our mission is to give you the knowledge and the insights to not only understand Scrum, but to actually picture yourself using it.
Because Scrum is more than just a set of rules. It's a mindset, a way of approaching work that can really transform how teams operate.
So let's break down this whole agile versus Scrum thing right off the bat, because I hear these terms thrown around kind of interchangeably, but I have a feeling there's a distinction.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Think of it this way. Agile is like the guiding philosophy, the North Star. It's all about embracing change, delivering value in increments, and collaborating really closely with your customer.
Okay.
Scrum, on the other hand, is the practical framework, a set of guidelines and tools that helps teams actually put agile principles into action.
Okay, so agile is the why, the mindset, and Scrum is the how. The recipe structure, if you will, that helps us navigate those unexpected ingredients and still create something amazing.
Precisely. Now let's talk about the key players in the Scrum game.
Yeah, because every good cooking show needs a talented crew.
Yeah.
Who are the essential roles on a Scrum team?
So you've got three primary roles. First up, the product owner. This is the person who represents the voice of the customer, ensuring the team is building the right product that meets the user's needs. Think of them as like the judges in our cooking show analogy. They have that vision for the final dish. But it's not just about having a vision. They're creating a prioritized backlog, a roadmap of essential features and functionalities, making sure the team knows what to focus on.
Makes sense. So the product owner sets the direction, but who keeps everyone on track and makes sure things run smoothly?
That's where the Scrum Master comes in. Think of them as the coach, the facilitator, who ensures the team follows Scrum practices effectively. They're there to remove any roadblocks, clarify any confusion, and generally help the team perform at their best.
So back to our cooking show, the Scrum Master would be the one making sure all the chefs have the right equipment, that the pantry is stocked, and that everyone's working together harmoniously.
Exactly. And then finally, you have the development team, the heart and soul of the operation.
Okay.
These are the chefs, the doers, the ones who take the product vision and turn it into reality.
And crucially, they work together. It's not a group of individuals all doing their own thing. It's about collaboration and teamwork.
Absolutely. And that's why Scrum emphasizes small, tight-knit teams. There's this famous concept in Scrum called the two-pizza rule.
Two-pizza rule. Tell me more about that. It sounds intriguing.
It's a simple but powerful idea. Your Scrum team should be small enough that it can be fed with two pizzas.
Okay.
Might sound a little silly, but it highlights the importance of team size for effective communication and collaboration.
Yeah.
In fact, I once worked with a team that was really struggling to make decisions and meet deadlines because there were just too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak.
Right.
They decided to break down into smaller, more focused Scrum teams, and the results were remarkable. Communication improved, productivity went up, and they were able to deliver value much faster.
That's a fantastic real-world example of how this seemingly simple rule can make a huge difference. So we've got our small but mighty team, and they're ready to tackle the project. How do they actually break down the work and manage their time using Scrum? That's where sprints come in, right? I feel like this is a term that people have definitely heard, but maybe don't fully grasp.
You're spot on. A sprint is a time-boxed period, typically 2 weeks, where the Scrum team focuses on completing a set of tasks from that prioritized backlog the product owner put together. It's like a mini project within the larger project with a clear start and finish.
So imagine our cooking show contestants now have a smaller time challenge within the larger competition.
Right.
They've got this short window to like prep and plate a specific dish.
I like how you're keeping that analogy going. And just like in that scenario, each sprint begins with a sprint planning meeting. This is where the team collaborates with the product owner to choose what they can realistically achieve during the sprint, breaking down those goals into actionable tasks.
So it's like a collaborative strategy session where everyone's getting on the same page.
Yeah,
But it's not like once the sprint planning's done, everyone just disappears into their own corner until the deadline, right?
not at all. Scrum thrives on transparency and continuous communication. That's where the daily Scrum or Stand-Up comes in. Every day, the team has a quick 15-minute meeting where they synchronize their progress. They share what they accomplished yesterday, what they're planning to tackle today, and most importantly, if they've hit any roadblocks.
So it's like a quick huddle to address any issues early on rather than letting them simmer and potentially burn the whole dish.
That's a great way to put it. It's about keeping everyone in the loop, maintaining that shared understanding of progress and challenges. It's about addressing those small hiccups before they escalate into major setbacks.
Okay, sprints are in motion, daily check-ins are happening, then what? How does a team know when they've reached the finish line of a sprint?
Well, at the end of each sprint, the team holds a sprint review. This is their moment to showcase the potentially shippable product increment they've created during that sprint. They demo it, gather feedback from stakeholders, and make sure everyone is aligned on what's been accomplished.
It's judgment time. Back to our cooking show analogy. This is when the chefs present their dish to the judges for feedback.
Exactly. And just like on those shows, the feedback isn't about tearing people down, it's about continuous improvement.
Yeah.
That's why after the sprint review comes a sprint retrospective.
Okay, so the team has gotten feedback on the dish. Now they're going over what worked, what didn't, and what they could improve.
Precisely. It's a structured opportunity for the team to reflect on the sprint, analyze their process, and identify ways to enhance their efficiency and effectiveness in the next sprint. What went well? Where did we stumble? How can we as a team continuously improve?
It sounds like this element of self-reflection and continuous improvement is really baked into the DNA of Scrum.
It absolutely is. And that brings us to what I consider the secret sauce of Scrum, its core values. These aren't just aspirational buzzwords. They're guiding principles that make Scrum tick.
Okay, so we've got the roles, we've got the sprints, the meetings, the constant feedback loops. Let's unveil those core values that underpin this whole framework. What makes Scrum really tick? Let's dive into those values then.
Okay, so at the heart of Scrum are 5 core values: commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect.
A good mix.
And these aren't just like words on a motivational poster. They're really principles that are woven into how Scrum teams actually operate.
All right, let's break these down. Starting with commitment, what does that look like in the context of a Scrum team?
Sure. So commitment in Scrum is about shared ownership. The team commits to goals they genuinely believe they can achieve together. It's not about individuals hitting some arbitrary deadline. It's about the team as a whole, taking responsibility and holding each other accountable for delivering value.
So it's about fostering that sense of collective responsibility, knowing that everyone's success is intertwined. What about courage? That one feels particularly interesting in a fast-paced environment like Scrum.
Absolutely. Courage in Scrum is about creating a space where everyone feels comfortable speaking up, voicing concerns, and suggesting new ideas without fear of judgment or reprisal.
Right.
It's about being able to challenge the status quo to say, hey, I think we could approach this problem differently. Or, I see a potential issue with this plan. You need that atmosphere of trust and respect to really innovate.
That makes a lot of sense. You need that freedom to experiment and iterate, even if it means occasionally stumbling, because that's often how you learn and grow the most.
Exactly. And that leads us nicely into the next value: focus. In today's world of constant distractions, focus is more crucial than ever for any team, but especially in Scrum, where you're working in these short, intense sprints. It's about minimizing distractions, prioritizing tasks, and really honing in on delivering value within that sprint time box.
No multitasking mayhem.
Exactly.
You got to stay focused on the key ingredients for this particular dish.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that ties in closely with openness. Scrum teams thrive on transparency. They communicate openly about their progress, their roadblocks, any challenges they're facing. It's about having those tough conversations early on rather than letting issues fester and potentially derail the project.
So openness helps build trust and avoid those last-minute surprises. Which brings us to the final core value, respect.
Yeah, respect in a Scrum setting is about recognizing and valuing each team member's contributions, skills, and perspectives. It's about fostering a collaborative environment where everyone feels heard and respected, regardless of their role or experience level.
It's amazing how these values all work together, almost like ingredients in a recipe to create this high-performing, engaged team.
That's a great way to bring it back full circle.
Yeah.
And just like those talented chefs we were picturing earlier who can adapt a recipe based on available ingredients, Scrum, with its focus on flexibility and continuous improvement, can be applied in a variety of settings, not just software development.
Wait, really? I thought Scrum was mostly a tech industry thing.
It's definitely popular in software development, but its principles can be applied to all sorts of projects and teams. Remember, at its core, Scrum is about breaking down complex tasks, collaborating effectively, and adapting to change. Those are valuable skills in any field.
Wow, you've really broadened my understanding of Scrum today. I've gone from thinking it's just this rigid set of rules to seeing how adaptable and valuable it can be for all sorts of teams and projects.
That's what I love to hear. It's not just about memorizing terminology. It's about understanding the underlying principles and how they can empower teams to deliver incredible results.
This deep dive has been full of aha moments for sure. We've gone from a cooking show analogy to uncovering the core values that make Scrum so effective. So for you, our listener, the question becomes, where in your own work or even personal life could you benefit from a more agile and iterative approach? What projects or challenges could you tackle using the principles we discussed today?
Food for thought. We'll leave you to ponder that.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those Scrum values in mind.
Want more? Subscribe to Dev Mindset and stay ahead in tech. See you soon.